Today, we are taking a culinary trip that spans continents, blending Italian tradition with a Chinese twist to create a spicy Szechuan pepper focaccia. Imagine the mouth-watering aroma of freshly baked focaccia combined with the numbing, tingly sensation of Sichuan pepper. This fusion recipe isn't just unique, it's a celebration of flavors. We will be using simple ingredients like bread flour, olive oil, and yeast. But what makes this recipe truly special are the Sichuan peppercorns, providing a focaccia with an unexpected and exciting twist.
Hi, I'm Lionel Roudot and welcome to my vegan Provence.
Begin by mixing the water and yeast in a large salad bowl. Additionally, add the olive oil and stir with a fork or wooden spoon. Add the bread flour and salt and mix the flour and water until the flour is fully incorporated, leaving you with a shaggy dough. There's no need for thorough mixing at this stage, as the dough's elasticity will develop naturally over time. Once you've achieved a shaggy dough consistency, cover the bowl with a plate to prevent drying and let it rest for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes of rest, the dough's consistency has improved. It is more elastic and can be stretched. To further enhance its stretchability, perform a set of stretch and folds. First, wet your fingers to prevent the dough from sticking. Pull one edge of the dough and fold it over itself as if covering it. Rotate the dough and repeat this process for each quarter. You can do only 4 folds or repeat the set as needed. Typically, I stop when the dough starts to resist, means the dough has lost elasticity and doesn't want to stretch more. This process will help the dough expand and create an airy texture for the focaccia. I should have cleaned the walls of the bowl with a spatula after mixing the flour and the water to incorporate all the flour into the dough. No wastage, but I can still do it now. Cover the bowl and let the dough rest for another 30 minutes. Repeat the stretch and fold process. You will notice that the dough is now more elastic and smoother. Complete your set of stretch and folds, then cover the dough and let it rest for another 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, perform your final sets of stretch and folds. By now, the dough should be smooth and elastic. I prefer to continue ferment the dough in the fridge overnight. This will further improve the dough's elasticity, texture and flavor. It really makes a difference. If you want to bake immediately, skip the overnight fermentation and proceed to the final stage of the recipe. While the dough proofs, let's prepare a Sichuan pepper topping. Finally mince the chives, leaving them somewhat uneven, and transfer them into a bowl. Peel the garlic pods and set them aside. Using a teaspoon, peel the ginger to remove the skin, then finally slice and mix it along with the garlic. Add it to the bowl with the chives. Next, roughly mince the chili, avoiding large pieces, and add it to the bowl. Pour in the sesame oil and then olive oil. In a hot, dry pan, toast the Sichuan peppercorns for 1 minute until aromatic. That will develop the flavors. Then remove from heat. Transfer them to a mortar, add black pepper and 2 pinches of salt, and grind into a mostly fine powder with some uneven bits. You could use, of course, an electric grinder. Add this powder to the bowl. Finally, add sesame seeds and mix well. If the mixture looks too dry, add more oil until the chives, garlic and ginger are well coated. That will prevent them from burning when baking. Cover and refrigerate until needed. Line a deep baking dish with parchment paper, as the focaccia will stick even if greased. Drizzle some olive oil on top of the parchment paper. Take the dough out of the fridge. It has fermented beautifully. Carefully pour it into the baking tray, trying not to deflate it. Since one side is not smooth, give the dough a delicate stretch to reshape it. Dip your hands in water, pull one edge and fold it over. Repeat with the other 3 corners. Finally, flip the dough ball upside down and place it in the center of the baking dish. Cover the dish with a large wet towel to keep the dough from drying out and to create a humid environment, which helps with proofing. Place the dish in a warm spot for the final proofing, which will take approximately 1.5 hours to 3 hours, depending on your home's temperature and the type of yeast used. Check the use information in the yeast box to find out what's the best temperature for your yeast to ferment. The dough needs to double in size and develop bubbles on the surface. Take the topping out of the fridge, oil your fingertips and dimple the focaccia, gently shaking it to create pockets of air and ensure even distribution. If the topping is still a bit dry at this stage, add more olive oil. Stir it well and spread it evenly over the focaccia, making sure to fill the dimples. Those little cracks are going to absorb all the flavors. Preheat your oven to 200 degrees Celsius. Once heated, bake the focaccia for 20 minutes until the surface turns golden brown. And there you have it, our perfectly baked spicy Szechuan pepper focaccia. The golden crispy crust and mouth-tingling Sichuan flavors will elevate any meal. You can just serve it as a replacement for bread. Let's taste it.
Whoa, it's so soft, it's very smooth. Look at the crumb, so beautiful. This is what you want in a focaccia. You want the softness, it's like a pillow. It smells delicious. The combination of the Sichuan pepper, black pepper, the red chili, the garlic, the ginger, and the green onions, it's fantastic. This is exactly the Sichuan flavor. This combination of all these spices put all together create that tingling sensation in your mouth. You have this burst of the Sichuan pepper that explodes in your mouth. Then you get the heat of the chili. I just put 1 chili, so it's not very strong, but if you like chili, then you can add more. And the combination of the garlic and the ginger together is so incredible. Something that is less noticeable, but there is this ingredient you don't perceive the flavor straight away, is the sesame oil. The sesame oil is essential in this recipe because it binds all the flavors together. If you only put olive oil, you wouldn't have the complete flavor from the Sichuan traditional cuisine. Oh, I also feel now the sesame seeds. They just come as little accents. They have toasted in the oven and now they have this rich, toasty flavor. It's so delicious. This is fusion cuisine at its best. Italy meets China in a focaccia. I hope that you like this recipe. If you like this recipe, please like it and then subscribe to my channel. Share with your friends and I'll see you in the next video. If you like this recipe, you will like my other bread recipes. Check them out.